Today, we will be learning about Seicus. Seicus is an organization that strives to advance sex ed for social change. The mission statement of Seicus is, Seicus advances sex education through advocacy, policy, and coalition building. The history. In 1964, Seicus was founded by Dr. Caldron with Wallace Fulton, Reverend William Green, Lester Kirkendall, Dr. Harold Leaf, and Clark Vincent. They wanted to see a change in the view of sexuality. They wanted it to be viewed as something healthy and natural. 1965 to the 1990s, Seicus became a recognized leader in the field of sexuality and sex education. They also published their first educational book about HIV and AIDS. They then expanded their work and opened a public office in Washington, D.C., the early 2000s up until today. They furthered their focus to prioritize advancing progressive sex education across the country in federal, state, and local levels. Today, they are still advocating for access for all to accurate sexuality information, education, and health services. The vision of Seicus. Seicus envisions an equitable nation where all people receive sex education, are affirmed in their identities, and have power to make decisions about their own health, pleasure, and wholeness. The values of Seicus. Seicus advances comprehensive sexuality education as a means of building a foundation for a long-term culture shift that will positively impact all levels of society, particularly issues of gender and racial equity, sexuality, sexual and reproductive health, consent, personal safety, and autonomy. Seicus applies an intersectional lens to ensure people's real lived experiences inform our policy, education, and strategic communications work. Seicus recognizes that good sexual and reproductive health is a human right. These are not all of Seicus's values, but more can be found on their webpage. Seicus's audience is everyone, but specifically minorities such as the LGBTQIA+ community. They try to improve the sexuality and sex education within the local, state, and federal levels. You can find Seicus on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. On Instagram and Twitter, you can find them with their handle @Seicus, or on Facebook @Seicus Sex Ed for Social Change. They post a number of different things on their social media platforms, including but not limited to webinars on a number of different topics, charts on state law and policy, and informative posts on different sex and sexuality topics. Seicus has a number of different resources on their website to get information on state law and policies, state legislative mid-year reports, and a number of different informative posts on different topics on all of their social medias as well as on their website. As far as teacher materials and activities, there aren't any specifically for health and physical educators, but there are a number of different articles that they have written that health educators could use to keep themselves informed and up to date on different topics.